Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about a journey that's not just challenging, it's transformative. The path of no contact is often perceived as a strategy to heal from a relationship. But what it really is at its core is a journey back to yourself. This process isn't about winning someone back or proving your worth to anyone else. It's about rediscovering your own power, one stage at a time. Let's break this down into the 9 stages a man goes through during no contact. Embracing vulnerability is one of the most courageous steps a man can take during the no contact journey. Society often teaches men to equate vulnerability with weakness, urging them to mask their emotions and soldier on without showing cracks in their armor. But true strength lies in the ability to stand in the storm of emotions, unguarded, and allow yourself to feel the full weight of your humanity. Vulnerability is not a flaw, it's the foundation of authentic growth and connection, even with yourself. When you choose to go no contact, you're making a deliberate decision to face the discomfort of detachment. This is inherently vulnerable. You're stepping into a space where you are no longer buffered by distractions, where the absence of familiar communication forces you to confront your raw emotions. It's tempting to run, to numb, or to distract yourself with superficial fixes. But vulnerability asks you to do the opposite, to stay present with the ache, to name the emotions that rise, and to let them have their moment. In vulnerability, you meet yourself. You uncover the fears you've buried, the fear of abandonment, of unworthiness, of being unlovable. These fears thrive in shadows, but vulnerability is the light that exposes them. And once exposed, you can begin to challenge them. The moment you admit to yourself, I feel lonely, or I'm scared of being alone, you take the first step toward healing. Owning your emotions doesn't make them more powerful, it makes you more powerful. Vulnerability disarms the shame that often accompanies those feelings, giving you permission to be human. But vulnerability doesn't stop at feeling pain, it opens the door to understanding and transformation. When you allow yourself to experience sadness, it can evolve into reflection. When you permit anger, it can transform into clarity about your boundaries. Vulnerability isn't just about dwelling in discomfort, it's about creating the space for change to occur. It's in those raw moments when you feel like you're at your lowest that you are also planting seeds for resilience and self-awareness. Being vulnerable during no contact also means rejecting the narrative that you have to have it all together. It's okay to admit you're struggling, even if only to yourself. Vulnerability allows you to sit with the uncertainty of not having all the answers, of not knowing what comes next. It frees you from the need to control the uncontrollable, teaching you instead to trust the process. The beauty of embracing vulnerability is that it transforms your relationship with yourself. As you become more comfortable sitting with your feelings, you build a deeper connection to who you are. You begin to recognize your emotional triggers, your patterns, and your needs. You start to show yourself the compassion and understanding you might have once sought from others. This newfound emotional intimacy with yourself lays the groundwork for healthier, more fulfilling connections in the future, whether they're romantic or not. Vulnerability is not about breaking down. It's about breaking open. It's an act of courage, a declaration that you are willing to show up for yourself in the hardest moments. Through vulnerability, you don't just heal, you evolve. Understanding the grief cycle is essential when navigating the journey of no contact. Grief is not reserved solely for the loss of life. It encompasses the loss of relationships, dreams, and expectations. When a relationship ends and no contact is initiated, you are forced to confront the void left behind. The grief cycle provides a framework to understand the emotional turbulence that arises, offering insight into why you feel the way you do and reassurance that these feelings, as overwhelming as they may seem, are part of a natural process. Grief is not linear. It doesn't follow a straight path, nor does it have a fixed timeline. The stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance often overlap and loop back on themselves. In one moment, you may feel clarity and acceptance, and in the next, be overwhelmed with anger or longing. Understanding the cyclical nature is crucial because it prevents you from feeling as though you're failing or regressing when old emotions resurface. Each stage serves a purpose, even when it feels like you're stuck. In the early stages, denial often sets in as a protective mechanism. It's the mind's way of numbing the initial shock, making the reality of the loss feel less immediate. You might find yourself holding on to hope, replaying old conversations, or convincing yourself that reconciliation is inevitable. This stage is not about avoiding reality, it's a temporary buffer to help you process the enormity of what's happening. It's a necessary pause, but it's important to gently remind yourself that denial cannot last forever. Anger often follows as the reality begins to sink in. This anger may be directed outward toward your ex, the circumstances, or even friends and family who seem unable to fully understand your pain. Or it may be directed inward, manifesting as frustration with yourself for things you wish you had done differently. While anger can feel consuming, it's also a source of energy. It signals that you care deeply and provides the momentum to start setting boundaries, both emotional and practical, that are necessary for healing. Bargaining is a stage where you attempt to regain control. Thoughts like, what if I had tried harder? Or maybe if I reach out, things will change, can dominate your mind. This stage is painful because it keeps you tethered to the past, clinging to the illusion of what might have been. Recognizing this stage for what it is, a way to cope with uncertainty, can help you move through it without giving in to unproductive actions. Depression often emerges as the emotional weight of the situation settles in. This isn't just sadness, it's a deep sense of loss that can feel paralyzing. But in this stillness, there's an opportunity for introspection. Depression invites you to sit with your feelings, to understand them without judgment, and to begin the process of letting go. Acceptance is the final stage, but it doesn't mean forgetting or erasing the past. It's about integrating the experience into your story and recognizing that the end of the relationship does not define your worth. Acceptance is not a destination, but a state of being that grows stronger over time. By understanding the grief cycle, you equip yourself with the patience and compassion needed to navigate this journey with grace and resilience. Building emotional resilience during the no-contact period is a transformative process that enables you to not only endure the pain of separation, but also emerge stronger and more self-aware. Emotional resilience is not about avoiding hardship or suppressing feelings. It's about developing the capacity to navigate life's challenges with a sense of balance and adaptability. This period of distance and self-reflection is an opportunity to cultivate the inner strength that will serve you long after this chapter has ended. Resilience begins with self-awareness. In the face of emotional turmoil, many people instinctively retreat into distraction or avoidance. The no-contact period, however, strips away those external crutches and forces you to confront your feelings head-on. This can be intimidating, but it is also where growth begins. By acknowledging your emotions, whether they are anger, sadness, regret, or longing, you create space for healing. Resilience is built not by pushing emotions away, but by learning to sit with them and understand their roots. Each moment of discomfort is an invitation to learn more about yourself and your triggers, which helps you to navigate future challenges more effectively. Developing emotional resilience also involves reframing your perspective. It's easy to view the no-contact period solely through the lens of loss, focusing on what you've given up or the void left behind. However, resilience requires shifting your focus from what you lack to what you can gain. This period is an opportunity to reconnect with yourself, rediscover passions, and redefine your priorities. It's a chance to reimagine the life you want to lead, free from the influence of past relationships or external expectations. By framing this time as a season of growth rather than one of deprivation, you empower yourself to approach it with purpose and intention. Another cornerstone of emotional resilience is self-compassion. In the aftermath of a breakup, it's common to replay moments, question your decisions, or blame yourself for perceived failures. This self-critical narrative only deepens the emotional wounds. Resilience, however, thrives in an environment of kindness and understanding. Treat yourself as you would a close friend going through the same experience. Remind yourself that mistakes and setbacks are part of being human, and that your worth is not defined by the end of a relationship. Practicing self-compassion allows you to heal more fully and approach life's challenges with a sense of confidence and self-worth. Building resilience also involves creating healthy habits that support emotional well-being. This includes activities that nurture your physical and mental health, such as exercise, meditation, journaling, and spending time in nature. These practices not only help to regulate your emotions in the moment, but also fortify your mind and body for the future. Surrounding yourself with a supportive community, friends, family, or a therapist can also be a vital source of encouragement and perspective during this time. Building emotional resilience is about embracing the process of growth and trusting in your ability to adapt and thrive. Resilience doesn't mean you won't feel pain or struggle. It means you'll learn from those experiences and emerge more capable of facing life's uncertainties. Each day of no contact is a step toward becoming a stronger, more grounded version of yourself. Through patience, practice, and self-awareness, you'll discover that resilience isn't just about surviving, it's about finding the strength to create a fulfilling, meaningful future. Rediscovering your worth during the no-contact period is one of the most transformative aspects of this journey. When a relationship ends, it can leave you questioning your value, as if the validation you once received from another person was the sole measure of your significance. This is especially true if the relationship was imbalanced or left you feeling unappreciated. However, the truth is that your worth has never been dependent on anyone else. It's always been within you, waiting for you to recognize and embrace it fully. No contact provides the space and opportunity to do just that. The first step in rediscovering your worth is understanding that external validation is fleeting. Relationships often create a dynamic where your sense of value becomes tied to how the other person treats you or how they perceive you. When that source of validation is removed, it can feel disorienting, as if a piece of your identity has been lost. But this feeling isn't a sign of diminished worth. It's a reminder that you've been looking for affirmation outside of yourself. No contact invites you to turn inward and redefine your sense of value on your terms, independent of anyone else's opinions or actions. Self-reflection is a key part of this process. It's essential to take a step back and evaluate the patterns and behaviors that may have contributed to feelings of diminished self-worth during the relationship. Were you compromising too much of yourself to maintain harmony? Did you ignore your own needs or silence your voice to avoid conflict? These realizations can be painful, but they're also empowering. They highlight where you may have overlooked your value and where you now have the chance to reclaim it. By recognizing these patterns, you can begin to set boundaries and standards for how you want to be treated moving forward. Rediscovering your worth also involves celebrating your strengths and achievements. In the aftermath of a breakup, it's easy to focus on perceived shortcomings or what you think you should have done differently. However, it's crucial to shift your attention to the qualities that make you unique and valuable. What are your talents, passions, and accomplishments? What brings you joy and fulfillment? Take time to revisit hobbies or activities that make you feel alive, confident, and connected to your true self. These pursuits not only remind you of your individuality, but also help you rebuild a life that feels rich and meaningful, regardless of your relationship status. Another important aspect of reclaiming your worth is practicing self-compassion. Breakups can stir feelings of guilt, shame, or inadequacy, but these emotions do not define you. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding as you would a friend. Speak to yourself in a way that reinforces your value and reminds you that your worth is inherent. It does not fluctuate based on external circumstances. Affirmations, journaling, or therapy can be helpful tools for nurturing this compassionate mindset. As you progress through no contact, you'll begin to notice a shift. The more you invest in yourself and honor your needs, the stronger your sense of self-worth becomes. You'll realize that your value is not something to be earned or proven, it's something you already possess. This realization is liberating because it frees you from seeking approval or validation from others. Rediscovering your worth means stepping into your power, embracing your authenticity, and recognizing that you are enough, just as you are. Through this process, you lay the foundation for healthy relationships and a life that aligns with your true potential. Transforming loneliness into solitude is one of the most profound shifts you can experience during the no-contact journey. Loneliness, at its core, is the ache of disconnection, a yearning for the presence or comfort of another. When you find yourself alone after the end of a relationship, the silence can feel overwhelming, almost suffocating. But solitude, unlike loneliness, is not an emptiness to fear. It is a space to embrace. Solitude is a gift you give yourself a chance to turn inward, to reflect, to grow, and to reconnect with the most important relationship in your life, the one you have with yourself. The difference between loneliness and solitude lies in perception. Loneliness is often accompanied by a sense of lack, the belief that something or someone is missing and that their absence diminishes your life. It can feel like a void you're desperate to fill, leading you to seek distractions or temporary fixes to avoid the discomfort of being alone. However, solitude offers a different perspective. It invites you to view your time alone not as a deficiency, but as an opportunity for self-discovery and renewal. It's a shift in mindset where instead of focusing on what's absent, you focus on what's present yourself. To begin this transformation, it's important to first accept the emotions that come with loneliness. Pretending it doesn't exist or numbing it with distractions will only prolong its grip. Allow yourself to feel the ache, to acknowledge the longing, and to sit with it without judgment. This act of acceptance is powerful because it diminishes the fear surrounding loneliness. It helps you understand that being alone is not synonymous with being unworthy or unloved. It's simply a state of being that can lead to profound personal insight if you allow it. Once you've made peace with the initial discomfort, solitude becomes a space for intentionality. This is where you can begin to reconnect with yourself. What are the things you've always loved but may have set aside? Maybe it's a hobby, a book you've been meaning to read, or simply taking a walk in nature. Solitude is a time to explore what brings you joy independently of others. It's an opportunity to listen to your own thoughts, to ask yourself what you truly want in life, and to nurture your passions and dreams. In this way, solitude becomes a sanctuary, a place where you are free to be wholly and authentically yourself. Another key element of transforming loneliness into solitude is cultivating self-care and mindfulness. Use this time to prioritize your well-being, whether through physical activity, meditation, journaling, or creative pursuits. These practices ground you in the present moment, reminding you that you are whole and capable on your own. They also help you build resilience, allowing you to face future challenges with greater strength and clarity. As you grow more comfortable in your solitude, you'll notice a powerful shift. The once empty silence becomes a canvas for creativity and self-expression. The longing for external connection evolves into a deep, fulfilling connection with yourself. You'll realize that while relationships can enhance your life, they do not define it. Through solitude, you learn that you are enough, just as you are. Transforming loneliness into solitude is about reclaiming your sense of independence and inner peace. It's not a rejection of connection, but rather a recognition that your worth and happiness come from within. In solitude, you discover the strength and beauty of your own company, a discovery that enriches every aspect of your life moving forward. Shifting perspectives during the no-contact period is a pivotal step in healing and personal growth. When a relationship ends, it's easy to remain stuck in a singular narrative, one filled with regret, self-blame, or a longing for what could have been. This perspective, while valid in the initial stages of grief, often keeps you tethered to the past and prevents you from embracing the present. Shifting your perspective isn't about ignoring your feelings or pretending the pain doesn't exist. It's about reframing your experiences in a way that empowers you to move forward with clarity and self-awareness. One of the most profound shifts is recognizing that the end of a relationship doesn't equate to failure. Many people view breakups as evidence that something went wrong, either with them or the other person. This perspective can be damaging, as it places undue weight on your worth or capabilities. Instead, consider that relationships, like all experiences, have seasons. Some are meant to last a lifetime, while others teach us lessons, help us grow, or show us what we truly need. Shifting your perspective to see the relationship as part of your journey, not a measure of your success, allows you to release the burden of self-judgment and focus on the lessons you've gained. Another crucial shift is moving from a mindset of lack to one of opportunity. In the aftermath of a breakup, it's natural to dwell on what you've lost: the companionship, shared memories, and dreams for the future. However, this focus on scarcity can make the pain feel insurmountable. Instead, try to view this time as an opportunity to rediscover yourself and rebuild your life in alignment with your true desires. What parts of yourself may have been neglected in the relationship? What goals or passions can you now pursue with renewed focus? By reframing this period as a chance for reinvention rather than loss, you empower yourself to take control of your narrative. Shifting your perspective also involves challenging the stories you've been telling yourself about the breakup. Often we create narratives to make sense of the pain, such as blaming ourselves entirely or idealizing the other person. These stories can be limiting and one-dimensional. Take a step back and ask yourself, is this story serving me? Is it rooted in truth, or is it a reflection of my fears and insecurities? By examining and adjusting your narrative, you create space for a more balanced and compassionate understanding of the situation. Perspective shifts aren't always immediate or easy. They require effort and intentionality. Practices like journaling, meditation, or speaking with a trusted friend or therapist can help you identify patterns in your thinking and encourage new ways of seeing your circumstances. Over time, these shifts allow you to approach your experience with curiosity rather than judgment, transforming what once felt like a setback into a stepping stone. Shifting perspectives is about reclaiming your power. It's about realizing that while you may not control what happens to you, you always control how you interpret and respond to it. This empowerment enables you to move forward with a deeper understanding of yourself, a clearer vision of your future, and a renewed sense of purpose. In doing so, you transform the no-contact period from a time of despair into a profound opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Emerging stronger from the no-contact period is the ultimate testament to your resilience, growth, and self-discovery. It is not simply about surviving the pain of a breakup or enduring the silence. It is about transforming that pain into purpose and stepping into a version of yourself that is more self-assured, emotionally grounded, and aligned with your values. Strength in this context is not about avoiding vulnerability or pretending the experience didn't affect you. It's about integrating everything you've learned into a more authentic and empowered sense of self. The journey to emerging stronger begins with acknowledging your growth. During the no-contact period, you confront many challenging emotions: loneliness, anger, regret, and self-doubt. Each time you face these emotions instead of running from them, you build emotional resilience. You prove to yourself that you can endure discomfort and come out on the other side. This realization is powerful because it reminds you that you are capable of handling life's uncertainties and adversities. Every moment of discomfort you faced has strengthened your ability to navigate future challenges with greater clarity and composure. A significant part of emerging stronger is the realization that your happiness and fulfillment come from within, not from external sources. In relationships, it's easy to fall into the trap of relying on a partner for validation, security, or purpose. The no contact period strips away those external crutches and forces you to look inward. Over time, you discover that you have everything you need within yourself to create a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. This self-reliance is not only liberating, but also lays the foundation for healthier, more balanced relationships in the future. You no longer seek someone to complete you because you know you are already whole. Another key aspect of emerging stronger is gaining a clearer understanding of your values and boundaries. The no contact period offers you the space to reflect on what you truly want and need in a relationship and in life. You can evaluate what worked and what didn't in your past relationship, not as a way to dwell on the past, but as a guide for the future. This clarity empowers you to set boundaries that protect your well-being and ensure that future relationships align with your values. It's not about building walls. It's about creating a framework that supports healthy, fulfilling connections. Perhaps most importantly, emerging stronger means reconnecting with your sense of purpose. Painful experiences, while difficult, often serve as catalysts for self-discovery and growth. The no contact period can ignite a desire to pursue new goals, deepen existing passions, or explore aspects of yourself that were previously dormant. Whether it's advancing in your career, nurturing your creative side, or fostering relationships with friends and family, these pursuits help you create a life that feels rich and meaningful. Emerging stronger doesn't mean you forget the pain or the lessons of the past. It means you carry them with you as evidence of your resilience. You step forward not as someone who has been broken, but as someone who has been refined by the experience. Each step you take during this journey is a declaration of your strength, self-worth, and commitment to living authentically. And as you move forward, you realize that the no contact period wasn't just a time of loss. It was the foundation for the incredible growth and strength you now embody.